Thing that you want to do to your opponents is to make them think, make them know they can't win. I decided early in my career, the only really important thing was to try to win every game.
One thing that we've always had in the Celtics is mutual respect. And we think that's the most necessary ingredient.
This is Bill Russell, an icon who forever changed basketball with his unparalleled dominance both on and off the court. 11-time NBA champion, 5-time MVP, and one of the greatest defensive anchors the league has ever seen. Bill Russell wasn't just a player. He was a symbol of teamwork and perseverance. But what made this trailblazer even more special was his admiration for those who pushed his game to the highest level. Let's explore the 6 remarkable basketball legends who earned Russell's respect and how they influenced the greatest defender of all time, Sam Jones, the silent assassin. Known for his smooth shooting and unparalleled ability to make clutch plays during the Celtics championship runs, Jones earned his reputation as the silent assassin not just in name, but through the countless moments he delivered on the big stage. Russell often credited Sam for his icy composure under pressure, calling him the guy you trusted when the clock was running out, and the moments backed up that trust. In the 1962 NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers, Game 7 proved to be the perfect stage for Jones to shine. With the score tight and nerves on edge, Sam delivered in crunch time, hitting key mid-range jumpers in the fourth quarter that kept the Celtics in control. Finals MVP Russell himself reflected, "When Sam got the ball in those moments, you didn't hope. It was automatic. He made my job easier because with him, we always knew we'd come out on top." Off the court, Jones was the ultimate team player. He wasn't playing for glory or personal stats. He cared about the team's success completely. Teammates often admired his work ethic, noting how he let his game speak for itself. Russell particularly appreciated this trait, saying Sam didn't need the spotlight. He worked, he delivered, and he let winning do the talking. Clutch moments like his Game 7 heroics weren't rare for Jones, they were consistent. Across his Celtics tenure, he remained one of the most dependable scoring options, finishing his career with an incredible 10 NBA championships. While Russell might have soared as the backbone and defensive anchor of the team, it was players like Jones who elevated those tight situations into triumphs. Elgin Baylor, the artistic rival. He was a creative genius, a true artist, soaring above the hardwood canvas. Baylor revolutionized basketball with his innovative playing style, combining fluidity and deadly scoring ability. Known for gliding past defenders and executing jaw-dropping moves, Baylor became a nightmare to defend, even for someone as dominant as Russell. Russell admired Baylor for playing the game with grace yet ferocity. While others relied purely on physicality, Baylor added finesse, creating scoring opportunities with ease. Elgin had this flair that no one could replicate, Russell would later recall. He didn't just play basketball, he painted masterpieces every time he stepped on the court. Their rivalry was electric, but it was never disrespectful. Baylor was all class, both in victory and defeat, a trait Russell deeply respected. One of their most iconic clashes came during the 1962 NBA Finals, when Baylor delivered a performance that remains one of the greatest in history. In Game 5, he scored an almost unreal 61 points against Russell's Celtics, cementing his place among the basketball gods. Russell openly called it unstoppable and admitted that Baylor was the kind of player who constantly tested his skills to the limit. But Russell wasn't one to back down. When it mattered most, Russell's defense and leadership shone through. In the decisive Game 7 of the series, Russell anchored Boston's defense, shutting down Baylor's impact enough to clinch the championship for his team. It was a final showdown that encapsulated the mutual respect between two legends, both giving their all to push each other and the game itself to new heights. Bob Pettit, the relentless warrior, standing toe-to-toe with Russell during the Celtics dynasty, Pettit was widely known as one of the first great power forwards in NBA history. More than just an opponent, Pettit was a challenge, one that Russell respected deeply. What set Pettit apart was his combination of finesse and strength. He could score from the mid-range or plow through the key with sheer determination. And when it came to facing Russell's smothering defense, Pettit never backed down. Russell admired this about Pettit, saying he never took a possession off. You had to play your heart out every single time because he wouldn't give you an inch. The 1958 NBA Finals were a defining moment in their rivalry, and a rare time when Russell's Celtics fell short. Pettit playing for the St. Louis Hawks, delivered one of the most jaw-dropping performances the league had ever seen. In Game 6, with the title on the line, Pettit scored an astounding 50 points to secure the championship for the Hawks. It wasn't just the numbers that were impressive, it was the way Pettit imposed his will on the game. Russell later recalled that night, "It felt like Pettit was everywhere. No matter how well we defended him, he found a way to beat us." Pettit was the ultimate competitor. He forced Russell to dig deeper, to elevate his own game, and to face defeat with dignity. Even though Russell's Celtics dominated the league in the years that followed, Pettit's performance in 1958 proved that basketball greatness wasn't confined to one team. Together, they created moments that embodied the true spirit of competition, a respect forged through battles on the hardwood. K.C. Jones, the loyal partner. He was Russell's backbone through one of the most iconic basketball dynasties in history. Their partnership started long before the bright lights of the Boston Garden, dating back to their time at the University of San Francisco, where they led their team to 2 consecutive NCAA titles, a rarity even by today's standards. Jones didn't play basketball for glory or recognition. He played for one reason, and one reason alone, to win. This humble yet determined mentality made him the perfect match for Russell, whose own philosophy revolved around teamwork and sacrifice. Together, the duo epitomized what it meant to play as a collective and dominate. Russell often reflected fondly on his time with Ownies, praising his unwavering dedication and defensive brilliance. KC didn't care about scoring. He cared about winning, and that made him one of the best teammates I ever had, Russell remarked in an interview. While Russell controlled the paint with his shot blocking and rebounding, Jones locked down guards on the perimeter, forcing opponents into mistakes that set the stage for Celtics victories. But perhaps what set Jones apart wasn't just his skills, but his leadership on and off the court. He was quiet but commanding, communicating with Russell in an almost telepathic way during games. Whether it was reading an opposing offense or executing perfect defensive rotations, Jones and Russell were always 2 steps ahead. Wilt Chamberlain, the Titan opponent. Towering at 7'1", Wilt combined breathtaking athleticism with raw physical dominance, making him one of the most unstoppable forces basketball has ever seen. Their battles rewrote the narrative of what rivalry meant in sports, pitting Russell's team-first mentality against Wilt's jaw-dropping individual brilliance. They were opposites on the court. Yet Russell always acknowledged Wilt's role in shaping his own legendary career. Chamberlain's stats were like something out of a video game. In the 1961-62 season, he averaged an unheard-of 50.4 points and 25.7 rebounds per game. And when the playoffs arrived, the pressure mounted even higher as the towering Chamberlain faced Russell's Celtics in the Eastern Finals. The series soon became one of the most memorable matchups in basketball history, a collision of brute force and sheer strategy. In a decisive Game 7, Chamberlain flexed his scoring dominance, carrying his team with 22 points and 21 rebounds. But when the game was on the line, Russell's leadership tipped the scales, blocking shots and snatching clutch rebounds. Russell logged 19 boards and made crucial plays down the stretch, ultimately leading Boston to a nail-biting victory, 109-107. Russell often said that Wilt deserved more credit than he received. "I wouldn't be the player I ended up becoming," Russell admitted in interviews. Chamberlain forced Russell to evolve his game, to block smarter, defend harder, and never take a possession off. Although their rivalry was deeply competitive, only Wilt could make Russell acknowledge that winning wasn't always just about statistics, but about mental toughness and heart on the floor. Decades after their battles ceased, Russell described Chamberlain as a challenge I was always proud to face, emphasizing the mutual respect that defined their careers. Together, they didn't just play basketball, they elevated the league itself, transforming it into the iconic stage we know today.
You always need the best to bring the best out in you. So I was always fortunate to have to know that I was going to play against the Celtics and William Felton Russell.
Oscar Robertson, the cerebral genius, widely known as the Big O. He was a phenomenon who redefined what it meant to be a guard in the NBA. As the first player to ever average a triple-double in a season, Robertson brought an unmatched combination of versatility and skill to the court. His style of play was revolutionary, earning him accolades from fans, peers, and challengers alike. And perhaps no competitor admired him more than Bill Russell. Known for his defensive genius and strategic mind, often admired Robertson's ability to dominate games with a level of precision that felt almost mechanical, yet flowing. Oscar could read the game like no one else. His vision was unparalleled, Russell commented during an interview. Whether it was making pinpoint passes, hitting clutch shots, or outthinking opponents with an almost chess-like mentality, Robertson had a knack for taking control of any situation on the floor. In one memorable all-star matchup, Russell couldn't help but be impressed by the Big O's ability to orchestrate plays while making everything seem so easy. His game reflected a relentless pursuit of victory, a formula Russell himself embodied throughout his career. Despite Russell's defensive dominance, facing Robertson was never easy. You couldn't predict him, and that made him so dangerous, Russell once said. The respect between these two legends was mutual, built on the foundation of competition and a love for the game. Each of these players not only pushed Bill Russell to elevate his game, but also shared moments of mutual respect that added richness to basketball history. The legacy of Russell wasn't just built on championships. It was built on his deep respect for the journey and those who shared it. Do you guys think modern defenders can match Russell's defensive prowess? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. All right, that's all for now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.